Kia ora, tēnā koutou katoa. Well, we're going to be going for another motorcycle ride. This time we're going to be going down to Otago. We'll also be going to the motorcycle rally called the Mad Magpie. That's happening on this weekend. It's Thursday at the moment. We want to clock up 100 or so kilometres tonight, and so we're going to go shorter journey tomorrow to where we're going. I'm going to show you on the map here. Well, this is a basic map of New Zealand's South Island. We're around Nelson at the moment. We're going to be heading down towards Springs Junction in Christchurch. We're going to Christchurch tomorrow morning, and then we head down towards just north of Timaru. We'll have a more detailed map when we get there to show you where the motorcycle rally is, the Mad Magpie. And then after the motorcycle rally, we're going to be heading down into Otago. We're going to be checking out this area here, some backcountry roads. Then after that, we would make our way back up to Nelson next week. So that's just basic map. Okay, well, I might as well get on the road. Greece has the highest motorcycle ownership in the world at 150 motorcycles per 1,000 people. Switzerland has 87 motorcycles per 1,000 people. Germany 53 motorcycles per 1,000 people. New Zealand comes 35th in the world for ownership of motorcycles per 1,000 people at 16 motorcycles per 1,000 people. Same number as Russia and 2 less than the UK. Morning. If we're going to keep things pretty simple, just like last night. Just had some muesli bars last night, and we'll probably have some today, and then we aren't going to do too much stopping as we get down towards the motorcycle rally. Most of my stopping will be down after the motorcycle rally in Otago. We just camped in this area last night, and we'll pack up shortly and get on the road, and not too many stops for a while. The price of petrol or gasoline, that's for 95 octane in New Zealand, is currently around $2.60 New Zealand per litre, or $1.60 US, or €1.52 per litre. Well, we were at the motorcycle rally just outside Winchester here. Then we filled up with food and fuel to Wanaka. Then we head towards Albany, some of these back roads here actually. And then at Albany, just outside, we turned off to do the Mackenzie Pass. And then we're going to continue down there. And then we're going to turn off towards Kuro. And then we'll looking at doing the Danseys Pass here. New Zealand roads are ranked 48th best in the world. There is 11,000 kilometres of state highway and 83,000 kilometres of local roads, of which 61% are sealed, which means New Zealand has 50,000 kilometres of unsealed roads. New Zealand's 2-lane roads are normally around 3.25 metres wide.
New Zealand is 1,000 miles long, or 1,600 kilometres. New Zealand kauri trees take about 200 years to mature. New Zealand only became fully independent in 1947.
Well, in this spot, James Mackenzie, the freebooter is what they called him that day, was captured by John Sidebottom and the Maoris, Tanakawa in 17, and he escaped from them the same night, the 4th of March, 1855. James Mackenzie was a famous sheep rustler, and that's what this Mackenzie district's named after him.
In March 1855, shepherds were searching for 1,000 missing sheep in the upper reaches of the Waitaki Valley, and they caught sheep rustler James Mackenzie. After escaping his captors, he walked 160 miles to Littleton, where he was recaptured.
I thought I'd just stop on this side of the pass and take in some views.
The court sentenced him to 5 years of hard labour. James Mackenzie,
pretty quiet really. Seen a couple more dead wallabies.
escaped his road gang twice, but always captured.
Anyway, we got to Kuro there, then we went down to Duntroon, and now we're heading along here, going over the Danseys Pass, probably about here at the moment, and we're going to go this way here towards Naseby and Ranfurly. Not so sure where we're going to be camping tonight, but yeah, somewhere around here, which is a bit of a big area at the moment.
Right. Sheep rustler James Mackenzie. Several days later, after a new magistrate investigated his case, he found flaws in the police inquiry and pardoned him. He probably returned to Australia, but details are scarce. Danseys Pass is a mountain pass at elevation of 910 metres or 2,985 feet above sea level, located on the boundary between Canterbury and the Otago regions. Danseys Road is about 51 kilometres or 32 miles long, running west-east from Naseby to the paved Livingstone Duntroon Road. The first road through the pass was built in 1862. The road to the summit is very steep and hits 13% of maximum gradient, not suitable for buses, caravans or towing. So don't be surprised if you find something left behind, like a caravan, somebody couldn't turn it around. The GDP, or gross domestic production, per person in New Zealand is $39,000 US. New Zealand has 363 kilometres of motorway, or 226 miles. The majority of the state highway network is made up of single carriageway roads with one lane each way. Chip seal is the most common type of off-road service in New Zealand. New Zealand is rated the least corrupt country in the world, on par with Denmark.
Well, we're at the top of Danseys Pass now. It's about 6 o'clock. There's Kuro, and we went to Dunstan's, probably around here, and then filled up. And now we're on Danseys Pass. Good steel sign, actually. Seems they don't like wallabies here either. Protect your country from your wallaby invaders.
Pass and the road is named after William Hayward Dansey. He was the lessee of a farm run from 1857 to 1871, who in 1855 were free companions with first Europeans to cross the pass looking for land. In New Zealand, 87% of the population is urban. The population density is 18 people per square kilometre. The median age is 38 and the life expectancy is 83 years.
Poolburn diggings here. Presbyterian priest trying to convert the Chinese.
The Poolburn digging cemetery is derived from the gold rush period in the 1860s. There are about 129 burials known to have occurred at the cemetery, but only records for 73 remain. A fire in 1912 destroyed the cemetery record book. The local settlement in the area had a public school that boasted 60 children and a hotel at one stage. There are over 160,000 motorcycles in New Zealand. 487,000 people have a motorcycle licence in New Zealand. But there's only about 67,000 motorcycles registered for the road in New Zealand. New Zealand has the 9th longest coastline. More people live in the city of Auckland than in the South Island.
Well, it looks like we've got a nice camping spot for tonight. I'll put the old tent about here, I think. Nice and quiet. There is actually a river ford just behind us over there. That doesn't look like it gets used very often, so hopefully you won't get disturbed. Prime beef mince. How much should I put on? That's much. How much? It'll take a bit of time to break up. So sit on here. Add a couple of more mushrooms to it. In the process of serving up. Don't want to muck round too. Okay. Oh, not going to muck around too much longer. Otherwise we'll get cold.
Otago is a region in New Zealand located in the southern half of New Zealand's South Island. It is an area of approximately 32,000 square kilometres, making it the country's second largest local government region. It has a population of 246,000 people. The name Otago is from the southern Maori dialect pronunciation of a Maori village. Near the entrance to Otago Harbour. Otago is also the name of a European settlement on the harbour established by the Wheeler brothers in 1831. The Wheeler brothers were members of a wealthy land-owning family from Folkestone, Kent, England. They were trading in flax and spars. At that time there were about 80 Europeans in Otago trading with the local Maoris. Measles became endemic greatly, and they greatly reduced the Maori population. Dunedin is the second largest city in the South Island of New Zealand and the principal city of the Otago region. The first significant European occupation of Otago region with the gold discovery near Lawrence in 1861, which led to the central Otago gold rush. Since the 19th century, most of the area's economic activity is centred on sheep, stone fruit and tourism. Otago is the coldest and driest part of New Zealand. Alexandra has the lowest annual rainfall recorded in New Zealand at 340 millimetres. The old Dunstan Road begins at Clark's Junction on State Highway 87 and extends to the northwest between Lammermoor and the Rock and Pillar Range before turning north. Alexandra has around about 148 frosts annually. The Otago gold rush was New Zealand's biggest gold rush and led to the influx of foreign miners to the area. Many of them were veterans of gold rush hunts in California and Australia. The Maori had long known of the existence of gold in central Otago but had no use for their ore. Gabriel Reid, an Australian prospector, found gold on the 20th of May 1861. By Christmas, 14,000 prospectors were in the area. The number of miners reached a maximum of 18,000. There is around 5.8 million New Zealanders, with some 640,000 living in Australia.
Okay, we are going to do a bit of a map session now. Okay, this is New Zealand's South Island here. We left Nelson and made a quick journey down to a motorcycle rally north of Timaru, about 25 kilometres north of Timaru, called the Mad Magpie Motorcycle Rally. And then after that we did some back roads here, and we're going to be exploring this area around here of Otago. So yeah, so now we go to another map. Try and get that one out of the way. So yes, if you see middle march there, where we got fuel, then went down to Clark's Junction. And we'll go to the other map. There's Clark's Junction there, and now we're on Old Dunstan Road number 1. We're going to go to about here, then continue along this gravel road here. This is all gravel road, and then head towards Poolburn Reserve on Old Dunstan Road number 2. So we'll be going over Rough Ridge. We'll go to Poolburn Reserve and then backtrack, then along this gravel road again, then on Lake Onslow Road is what we'll be doing later on this afternoon. Okay, that's our current views at the moment. We'll climb up there on the rock and check it out. Right.
There are up to 14,000 earthquakes every year in New Zealand, but only between 150 and 200 are strong enough to be felt. Maoris are thought to have first settled in New Zealand in approximately 1280. New Zealand has 12 active volcanoes. There are estimated about 68,000 kiwi birds left in the country, and it's estimated also that the population of kiwis are dropping by about 2% per year. New Zealand has more Scottish pipe bands per capita than any other country in the world. The driest city in New Zealand is Christchurch, and the wettest is Wellington. The Poolburn reservoir was started in late 1929 and was finished in late 1931. The concrete arch dam is about 100 feet high, and during construction scaffolding collapsed, resulting in 7 men becoming injured. One man died from a fall at the site. When full, the reservoir covers about 300 hectares. Both brown trout and rainbow trout were introduced into the reservoir, but only the brown trout remain today. The Poolburn Reservoir was used in the Lord of the Rings film.
Well, I've just wandered up here, taking a bit more of the scenery.
The Poolburn Reservoir was used in the Lord of the Rings film. The Great Moss Swamp, also known as Loganburn Reservoir, was finished in 1983 to provide irrigation for 60 farmers or about 9,300 hectares, and power generation when the water is released. In 2014, the dam was raised by 80 centimetres. There are more than 360 glaciers in New Zealand's Southern Alps. New Zealand is the second largest producer of wool in the world. New Zealand ranks 8th among the top dairy producers in the world. It is home to over 400 public and private golf courses. The average shelf life of a New Zealand eel is 80 years. English is spoken by 96% of New Zealand's population. 15% of the population is Maori. New Zealand is a similar size to the UK.
We've got some good views here, certainly. We're still on Old Dunstan Road number 1, heading towards Paru. Then we'll go to Poolburn Reserve and then back along here, Lake Onslow. But at the moment we're enjoying the scenery. It's quite different down here in Otago.
National parks and reserves make up 30% of the country, and New Zealand produced 22 million metric tonnes of milk products in 2021. The Maori name for the country is Aotearoa, which means land of the long white cloud. In the last 1,000 years, over half of all animal species in New Zealand on the islands have become extinct. Abel Tasman is officially recognised as the first European captain to discover New Zealand in 1642. He named the country after a region in the Netherlands. In 1769, Captain James Cook came to the islands. The old Dunstan Road is a historic route in Otago. The road was created during the Central Gold Rush of the 1860s. At the time of the road's creation, it was the shortest route from the city of Dunedin to the goldfields around Clyde. It was known at the time as the mountain track. It was a dangerous route that claimed numerous lives. It climbs to almost 1,000 metres before dropping down to Paru. Poolburn Reservoir, or sometimes called Poolburn Dam, was built during the Great Depression for irrigation. The Maoris protested the treaty after their lands were seized and confiscated, and in 1860 they began a 12-year war against the British control of the North Island. Peace was restored to the islands in 1870s. Well, we've arrived at Poolburn Reservoir. We're going to turn around and go back down the same road to get to the old Onslow Road. Okay, we're at Poolburn Reservoir. We're going to have to go back down this road here and then head towards the Lake Onslow Road. The British established settlements and signed a treaty with the Maoris in 1840. Big Mac combo at McDonald's in New Zealand is $12.40 New Zealand, or about €8. Deluxe double quarter pounder is 16 New Zealand dollars. A litre of milk is about $2.78 or €1.50. A basic lunchtime menu, including a drink in a business district, is about 21 New Zealand dollars or €12. 12 large eggs in New Zealand is about 9 New Zealand dollars or €5.30. Kilogram of tomatoes in New Zealand costs about $8 or €4.83. A kilogram of apples is about $4.77 or €2.76. Bottle of red table wine of good quality is about 19 New Zealand dollars or €11. A 2 litre Coke is about $3.65 or €2.11. Enough bread for 2 people for one day is about $2.80 New Zealand or €1.62. Monthly rent on a furnished home is around about 2,875 New Zealand dollars or about €1,663. Pint of beer at the neighbourhood pub is about 11 New Zealand dollars, or a pint was that about €6. Packet of cigarettes in New Zealand is 38 New Zealand dollars or €22 for a packet of cigarettes. The cost of living in Christchurch is 23% cheaper than Auckland. Auckland is 19% cheaper than London. A basic dinner at the neighbourhood pub for 2 people is about 74 New Zealand dollars or €42. The medium income in New Zealand is just under $29 dollars per hour, or €17.30 an hour, or it's about 62,000 New Zealand dollars per year based on a 40-hour week, or 35,000 euros. The minimum hourly wage in New Zealand is $22.70, or €13.25. The average yearly full-time wage for a in the healthcare industry is about 64,000 New Zealand dollars, or 37,000 euros. In education, $62,000, or 37,700 euros. If working in the construction industry, it's about 72,000 New Zealand dollars, or 41,500
Well, we're on the Lake
euros.
Onslow Road now. It's quite a bit different from the other two roads. Well, somebody's going to ask what Lake Onslow looked like. Now you know. Can't say it's the most attractive lake.
Lake Onslow is a man-made lake east of Roxburgh and south of Alexandria in the Otago region. It is 700 metres, or 2,300 feet above sea level. It was formed in 1890 by damming of the Triviot River and the Dismal Swamp.
Well, this is going to be our camping spot for tonight, behind a batch on Lake Onslow, just over there. So we've got a bit of a wind, so we're going to shelter behind the old batch here. Other than that, we've got a good view otherwise.
With a new dam built in 1982 that raised the lake level by 5 metres, it has been proposed to use the dam for a pumped hydro system to provide backup electricity for dry years.
Well, might give it a good last crank and that'll be it. Yep. Another minute or so and that'll be ready. We won't muck round.
If you're working in the customer service, it's about 53,000 New Zealand dollars, or 30,000 euros per year. In the hospitality industry, it's about 54,000 New Zealand dollars, or about 31,000 euros per year.
And we got magpies here.
In the IT information technology industry, it pays about $124,000 per year, or 71,000 euros. If you're working in the transport industry, it's about 58,000 New Zealand dollars, or 33,500 euros per year. The average house price in New Zealand is currently about $1 million New Zealand dollars, or 580,000 euros. The price of a Harley Davidson Sportster with 40,000 Ks was on offer on Trade Me, which is New Zealand's eBay or equivalent, for 12,000 New Zealand dollars, or 7,000 euros for a Harley Davidson Sportster.
We're at one of the high points, probably on Lake Onslow Road at the moment.
Another bike on offer on Trade Me was a 2001 Suzuki DR650 with 41,000 kilometres on it, and that was selling for 4,600 New Zealand dollars or 2,650 euros for a DR650.
Well, I just stopped here to have lunch. We're about a kilometre or so up the Nevis Road. We've just been for a shower of heavy rain before, so the weather isn't the best. A bit overcast, a bit cloudy. Maps here. Going to have a look at these and show you exactly where, or more or less, where we're going to be going. Park up right here, I think. Lay these out. So last night we camped around Lake Onslow here. Then we this morning we've continued on down to Roxburgh. And we haven't done much stopping along here. We filled up fuel in Roxburgh and then went to Alexandria for food for today. Then we continued pretty much along here, Highway 8 to Cromwell, and then we went to Bannockburn. It's a small town, and then went on to Bannockburn Road in order to get onto the Nevis Road, which is what we're on now. So we're going to be doing this Nevis crossing, and it runs along the Nevis River and Nevis Valley. We'll come out at Carston, hopefully, and then we head to Fairley and Kingston, and then towards Queenstown. That's one we want on front. Well, that's a remarkable mountain range there. Okay, well, it looks like we might be heading down actually into the Nevis Valley. Okay, that's probably where the highest point, or not, that I'm going to be. It clings to the rock, doesn't it? Looks like somebody's been throwing bottles at it. Okay, glass around here.
Bannockburn was a successful mining settlement that managed to avoid becoming a ghost town. Bannockburn has a population of around 500 people. The Nevis Road is totally unpaved and features a few river crossings. It's 65 kilometres or 40 miles long, running from Bannockburn Road near Cromwell, a town in central Otago region, to State Highway 6 near Garston. The road tops out at 1,275 metres or 4,200 feet above sea level. The Nevis Road has about 26 or so small river crossings.
Been through the Nevis Valley, and crossed the Nevis River X amount of times. Eventually it turned into a little creek, and then yeah, almost think there's more than 25 ford crossings there. Didn't count them though.
Yeah, we're around the Hector Mountains now.
Okay, hopefully it's no more river crossings.
Central Otago is a massive block of cyst or Metaphorus greywacke, part of an 85 million year old Zealander continent, surface of which is eroded over 60 million years and then uplifted it in the last 2 million years.
Pretty good views up here, isn't it? Well, we'll be heading down soon. Don't know what the chances are for finding camping, but we'll try.
So we're just up in the Hector Mountains, heading down now, so about there. Going to be heading down towards Garston. I've got a fair idea where to stay around there. And it's towards Queenstown in the morning. Well, we're going to have a pretty average night. We're just going to have sandwiches this time. So didn't get quite as far as I wanted to Queenstown, where I would have got something more sustainable. But wow, it looks like we've got ourselves a blue sky day today. We're going to be riding north now, rest of the time on this trip. The weather forecast isn't actually the greatest, heading north. So we're going to go into Queenstown and then head towards Mount Cook area. That's where it's forecast to be overcast and cloudy and showers and that, so probably won't get any views going towards Mount Cook and Christchurch. We've done most of what I wanted to do on this trip, so I'm going to spend a bit of time on the road. Beautiful day again in New Zealand. We're just taking in some views of the lake. We'll head back into Queenstown shortly. We were on the road to Glenorchy, but we'll go that way another day. So we'll be heading towards Wanaka next. Going to go over the Cadona Pass.
Lake Wakatipu is New Zealand's third largest lake. If the lake looks pure, it's because scientists rate it at 99.9% pure water. Lake Wakatipu has a length of 80 kilometres or 50 miles. The lake is very deep, and the floor being below sea level with a maximum depth of 380 metres. The steamship TSSS Onslow is a 1912 Edwardian twin-screw steamer. It is the only remaining commercial passenger carrying coal-fired steamship in the southern hemisphere. She is 52 metres long. She was built in Dunedin and then dismantled and transported like a jigsaw puzzle by train to Kingston at the southern end of Lake Wakatipu. In 1968, the Onslow was very nearly scrapped. The first Europeans to discover the area were explorers William Gilbert Rees and Nicholas von Tumzelbaum, who were the first non-Maoris to settle the area. Rees established a high country farm in the location of present-day Queenstown. In 1860, the discovery of gold encouraged Reeves to convert his wool shed into a hotel and named the it Queen's Arms. Queenstown is a resort town with a population of around 16,000 people. Lake Wanaka is New Zealand's fourth largest lake and the seat of the town of Wanaka. The lake is 278 metres above sea level and covers an area of 192 square kilometres or 74 square miles.
So in Wanaka presently, going to head on to the A8, and then connect on State Highway 8 and go north through the Lindis Valley, Lindis Pass. I'm going to head up towards Twizel then, and see what the weather's like up there. And then after Twizel, go to Tekapo.
Lake Wanaka lies in a U-shaped valley formed by glacial erosion during the last ice age more than 10,000 years ago. The lake is 42 kilometres long. It also has 4 islands on the lake. Wanaka is more than 300 metres deep. Lindis Pass is 971 metres high. It lies between the towns of Cromwell, 75 kilometres away, and Oamaru, 32 kilometres away, on State Highway 8, traverses the pass. The pass is the highest point on New Zealand's South Island State Highway network.
Well, we found this campsite a bit on the late side. Previous campsite had been under development, I'd say. Basically all trees have been cut down and somebody's going to turn it into property. Had a good view there before. Okay. Mushrooms, onion and chicken drumsticks tonight.
Morning.
It passes through an extensive unmodified beech forest and the road was officially opened on Saturday the 30th of October 1937. The Lewis Pass is named after Henry Lewis, who together with Christopher Mayling were the first Europeans to discover the pass in April 1860 while working as surveyors for the Nelson Provincial Survey Department.
Just going through the Lewis Pass at the moment, heading up towards Nelson. Going to stop a few times to check out the scenery. Otherwise it's the end of the trip. Got myself an inverter here. So I'm useful for charging up some devices when I need to. Just plugs in here. Through the old cigarette lighter. Back there. Plug my inverter in. Well, this one here. At the moment we're just using the USB port on it. But for my bigger devices, I'll need that there. That gives you the idea of the shape of the New Zealand and Australian plugs. Kia ora. Well, we're back from a motorcycle ride down south. Went to the Magpie motorcycle rally, which is just outside Winchester. We're about 25 kilometres north of Timaru. Afterwards we went towards Otago and checked out some dirt tracks and dirt roads. What's that? Dunstan's Roads 1 and 2, Onslow Road, Mackenzie's Pass. And afterwards we went to the Nevis Road, then Queenstown and Wanaka. So we better sort out some food tonight, and tomorrow we're looking at cutting the grass around here. Alright, Mati wa.